Up and at him we go. Another fantastic start.
That is not what you're supposed to do when you fly.
Now, final 16, that's where the action's at. That's where I want to be, and I'm there, baby.
That's too high. 37s and 38.
37, 38.
Different battery.
Gold star on the tracks. Super flowy, like it doesn't feel like a battery burner.
So we're going to change out an entire drone here this morning.
Your 2023 champion from Lincoln, Nebraska, Jacob Bowler. Scorcher is your champion.
Well, it's a great look back to where we are here today. It is Champs Week. We're at the No Quarter Ranch in Citrus Springs, Florida. This is the 2023 MultiGP Championship. Look at the sport class podium there. Scorcher, our first champion crowned, as we pick up here this afternoon with our C main. We're to the top 36 of the 60 pro pilots competing on days 3, 4, and 5 of the 2023 MultiGP Championship. Working our way to our championship top 16 tonight at 7:30. We're excited to have each and every one of you with us on the MultiGP YouTube channel now with 10,000 subscribers as we all embark on this journey as we get set to award $15,000 in our podium and crown our 2023 MultiGP champion. We're going to meet our course in just a little bit. We're going to meet some of our contenders as well. But first, let's get you up to speed on what our format is for our C main qualifiers 25 through 36, plus our bump ups from our earlier main this morning. It's a double elimination bracket. Top two going into our winners bracket, going from race 1 and 2 to match 6, from match 3 and 4 to match 8. You can be third or fourth just once. You go down into our redemption bracket at the bottom. And there is a path, if you're third or fourth in that preliminary round, to work your way all the way through to our final match 14 on the screen. Now, match 14 decides a lot. First, the 4 pilots that are in match 14, a little bit of pressure is off as they will advance to our B main later on this afternoon, inside the top 24. That's a big jump for many of these pilots. And secondly, 533 incentive prizes. Those running 533 gear or wearing the 533 merch getting incentive dollars. Their share of $25,000 awarded between sport and pro class divisions at the 2023 championship. And finally, again, podium positions, podium prizes here with the challenge coins and much, much more. We are going to roll through it. We have a couple bump ups there from our D main earlier. We brought in Red 5, we brought in Ches FPV, and we brought in Goblin FPV, and more importantly, we brought in T Bell, your top qualifier in our E main last night. was third last night, goes into our D main this morning, was third again, and is now in our C main. So that means he has now broken the top 36, which is changing his destiny as he qualified 49th this week. So a gain of about 14 positions, and that is just a little look at what we're about to see here in this afternoon's presentation of our C main. Over on the sidelines, we got our buddy FPV Gan with his buddy, our top qualifier in our C main, AK FPV.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm here with AK, top qualifier of the C main. Now, this man's name is known around drone racing. This guy keeps busy. He's designed the global qualifier for the past 3 years and 2 tracks at I.O. this year, among many more. So huge fan of your tracks, and not to mention incredibly fast drone racing pilot, but you're also involved in Webtopia. But for a minute, let's talk about the upcoming bracket. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. This track is actually amazing. I'm really excited on this track. Just getting better every day, so the name of the game today is stay consistent, right? So feeling great.
Oh, yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about Webtopia? I know that's coming up January.
Yep, Martin Luther King weekend, January 14, 15, 16. We got 80 pilots competing. Event sold out in just under 5 minutes, so it's known as the world's largest whoop race. A little over 6,000 cash prizes, plus trophies, amongst other product prizes. So it's great fun. Good times.
Hell yeah, AK. All right, well, good luck in the upcoming races, and we'll see you out there.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, FPV Gan, and good luck to our first days to chase here in our C main, our top qualifier, AK FPV. A course designer, giving props to our course designer for champs here in 2023. It's SFPV. Let's take a look at this afternoon's racetrack. Bottom 8. We go through our tunnel now. Above our tunnel in this section, now we go to the back left-hand corner of the track with an elevated gate to a step down. Around a couple flags here, part of our sweeper. Those flags will be fully illuminated. Elevated gate into a pole dancer. Maddie B from Texas originating that feature that we still see here on our champs track. We're going to go into our first tight drop dive section. Watch this, Emax, and this is tight. That's what really separates the sport from the pro, as it were, into a sweeper, a real tight technical part of the track. Now a double ascend up gate, a mini ladder, as it were, into our second dive. This is about at the midway point through our hobby wing dive section. Now another elevated carousel into our tsunami section. We're over 2/3 of the way through, up through H20, and then up to our TBS speed trap to our checkered line. That was free FPV, one of our great red shirts, part of our cast and crew with our fly through here at the 2023 MultiGP Drone Racing Championship. Match number 1, we have the bump up from the D main. That's red 5. We have the number 35 seed Infinity, the number 30 seed Daylight FPV, and your highest seed in this one, 27th this week, Ethan FPV. Top 2 into the winner's bracket, bottom 2 into the consolation bracket. Good luck, pilots. We're going green. Arm your quads. Let's go live on the tone in less than 5. Off to the races we go. Infinity with a rough start. Back at the line, going to try and get back up. He's already turtle moding as the whole shot going to Ethan FPV, and so your leader crashing out is down to 2. Red 5 just ahead of Daylight FPV. Now Daylight just in front of Red 5. So the 2 transfer positions may be decided unless we were able to get back up here with Infinity. He just went blurry as we're going to have a battle here for the win with 2 laps to go. There's Daylight FPV and Red 5 separated by 0.4 of a second. And now your leader, Lucy Goosey, just ahead of the tunnel. Red 5 back into the lead. They've traded places a few times here in match number 1. Getting it done as the sun is shining, 90 degrees in the sunshine here in Citrus Springs, Florida. Infinity still trying his thing back at the line, but I mean, is it a race to turtle mode? Daylight FPV and Red 5 in fine form, working on lap 2. Let's go to the speed trap with Daylight and on to lap 3. Red 5 and Daylight now working on lap number 3, separated by 2.4 seconds. Chasing Red 5 in the number 1 spot. Daylight now 2 seconds back. But again, that is positions 1 and 2, P1 and 2, to advance into our winner's bracket preliminary round here this afternoon. Red 5 going to that hobby wing dive. And that means Daylight is going to get the win. Daylight jumping out front. Not sure what happened there. Made a bunch of ground up. And so Red 5 getting across the line in second, 6.3 seconds back. That is our bump up. Already going up a weight class right there. Third going to go to Ethan FPV. Fourth to Infinity. And we will bump them up. Let's take first and second, Daylight FPV and Red 5 to match number 6. No channel changes. Infinity and Ethan FPV to match number 5. No channel changes. No channel changes. Well, that one is under review. It's not going to change who bumps up, who bumps down. Things got a little confusing at the end there between Daylight and Red 5. I was thinking Red 5 was in the lead, but the timing system showed him as second. I think he got the W. They're going to review it just for posterity. Not going to change who bumps up, but the difference between first and second. So those results are final. Let's go to heat number 2, match number 2. It's our bump up from the E main to the D main to now the C. T-Bell, 49th in qualifying this week, now guaranteed to be top 36 or better. Along with Uptime FPV, 34th in qualifying, AK Drones, 31st in qualifying overall. Last year finished top 20, looking to do it again. And Wild Type is your high seed in this one, second overall in qualifying in our C main, and 26th in qualifying this week. We saw him back in 2019 at Daytona, finished top 20. We saw him in Valkyria in 2020. He was top 10. Is he top 10 again in 2023? Bunch of races to decide, but with our bump up format, we're in our C main. Top 4 in this will advance to our B main at 3:30 this afternoon. Positions 13 through 24 with the 4 bump ups. The top 4 in that advancing for our championship top 16. We're at match number 2. And so after DVR review, results official as they are on the screen. Daylight first, Red 5 second of that last one. They're still going to advance. We're going green, match 2. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Uptime FPV with the whole shot. First one out of the tunnel. Wild Type's running right with them. AK Drones and T-Bell battling 3rd and 4th. Top 2 advancing into our winner's bracket. Bottom 2 in our consolation round. Our redemption bracket. We lost AK Drones. Lost his feet. He's already standing up, so he is done on lap number 1. As we bring your leader Uptime through that TBS. No, it's Wild Type and Uptime 1 and 2. 0.7 of a second apart. They get up to 57 miles an hour. There's T-Bell running 3rd. 4.5 seconds back from the transfer position. And he was faster through the speed trap, 66 miles an hour. So starting with 4, down to 3. Chasing Wild Type, Uptime, and then T-Bell in the caboose. One more lap to go. On to lap 3, we take Wild Type. There's Uptime running second, 2.6 seconds back, and T-Bell about to get onto that lead lap, final lap. He's got a bunch of ground to make up. 7.4 seconds back is where we sit. Wild Type through that far sweeper, carouseling up to our hobby wing dive into our tsunami section. Looks like we just lost Uptime FPV. He's getting back up. Wild Type is advancing in the number 1 spot, and now T-Bell is ahead of Uptime. Uptime dropping to third, going to try and reel in T-Bell. Your double bump up is looking to do it again. T-Bell rings a bell again. He will go into our winner's bracket. Yes, sir. Finish your race no matter what happens. Third going to go to Uptime, fourth to AK Drones. And so we will take Wild Type and T-Bell up to match number 6. Channel change coming in for T-Bell, going to race band 6 when they're back in match 6. Uptime, FPV, and AK Drones going to go to match number 5. And one channel change to worry about there. AK Drones is going to go to... No, AK Drones is going to stay where he is. Uptime is going to go to race band 8. Uptime to race band 8 when he comes back with AK Drones in match number 5. Did I get that one backwards? I may have got that one backwards. I looked at it right. So right now, Uptime was on 6. AK was on 3. Yeah, Uptime stays on 3. Wait. AK is on 3. AK remains on 3. Uptime goes to race band 8. Uptime to race band 8. AK Drones, no channel change. Yeah, I had it right the first time, then I second-guessed myself. Golden rule, never second-guess Scully, even if you are Scully. Match number 3 is where we're at. Fire Serpent, QT FPV, Fairy, Ches FPV, you're up on deck. Match number 4, AK FPV, Spicy, Joseph PV, Goblin FPV, and in the hole, match number 5, Ethan FPV, Infinity, Uptime, FPV, AK Drones. 121 global qualifiers across the globe, with 824 pilots competing, getting ranked globally on the GQ list. Top contenders, top 150 and pro, invited to champs, 60 pilots making the trip. And here in our C main, we're in the top 36, still in a preliminary round. We bring in Ches FPV, our winner of the D main, one of our bump ups from Wheaton, Illinois. Fairy from California, the number 36 seed. QT FPV, the 29th seed. And your highest seed in this heat, Fire Serpent. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Looked like an issue there for Ches FPV on the start-finish gate, but he's able to recover. We've still got 4 in the air. And we had a big pass by Fire Serpent. I think that was Fairy making the pass by him. Fire Serpent getting distracted. He crashes out. So now we are down to 3 here on this opening lap. Looks like QT FPV, Ches FPV, and Fairy, 1, 2, and 3 here on the opening lap. QT FPV and Ches separated by 0.8 of a second. And Fairy about to work his way onto that lead lap. A little gapped right now as he is on a run for recovery. Paul Flynn says, go, go, Fire Serpent. But, well, Fire Serpent is going to be chilling in that redemption bracket. We're working on lap number 2. And now on lap 3, we take QT FPV and Ches FPV. They're separated by 1.8 seconds. And we'll see if Fairy's able to catch up. He was 17 seconds back after 1 as he is about to get onto our final lap here. Does he gain some ground? No, he's still about 17 seconds back. QT FPV hits our TBS speed trap and across our line, 72 miles an hour. And he gets your win, 3 laps a minute 20. Ches FPV in second, 3 laps a minute 24. 4.1 seconds back in second. And 1 to finish up. That is Fairy crossing the line. 3 laps a minute 36 in third. And that does it for match number 3. Pending word from our judges that they concur as we get set to take QT FPV and Ches FPV up to match number 8. No channel changes for them. And Fairy and Fire Serpent 2. Match number 7. No channel changes for them either. As match number 3 completes. Well, here at the 2023 MultiGP Championship, we have 8 different countries represented here at Champs. Of course, the United States of America, the hosts of championships this year. We also have Canada in the mix. Korea with 3. I think 2 from Germany, 1 from Chile, 1 from Costa Rica, 2 from Italy. And in match number 4, we're going to feature our Swiss pilots. The sole contender from Rothenburg, Switzerland, Goblin FPV. Bumping up from our D main, 4th in the D main earlier this morning, qualifying 44th, and now inside our top 36. Joining him here in heat number 4 is our number 33 seed this week, Jose FPV. Our number 32 seed this week, Spicy. And our top qualifier, AK FPV. 25th in qualifying this week, our TQ in our C main. In 2020, he was top 16. 2021, he was top 20. Last year, top 30. And once again here, qualifying inside the top 30. A chance to advance into our championship top 16 later on tonight. All of our pilots at this point, even those in the redemption bracket with a chance to climb up that ladder. Getting things situated. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Up and at him we go. Whole shot going to go to AK FPV. We met him at the start of our race. And we're watching him race again as he is leading our field. But he's got company. Spicy is almost right on top of him. Spicy now up into the lead. That is for the number 1 spot. Jose running 3rd. And Goblin FPV in the number 4 spot, but a tight grouping here after lap number 1. Here comes Spicy. There goes AK, 1 and 2, 0.8 of a second apart. Goblin is 1.5 seconds back from the transfer position in number 3 spot, and we lost Jose FPV. So still chasing them at the front, and it's Spicy just a half a gate ahead of AK FPV, and Goblin FPV now about 4 or 5 gates back from them. We'll see how it plays out. They still have 1 more lap to go. On to lap 3, we take Spicy. AK 0.6 of a second back. Goblin FPV 1.3 seconds back from 2nd and 3rd. And we just lost Goblin FPV, succumbing to the pressure on that 3rd and final lap. And so we're down to just 2. AK was leading Spicy there for a moment. Looks like he still may be. They're almost on top of each other. Look at this stereo optic on the screen as you put Spicy back into the lead ahead of AK. I think AK is just kind of taking it easy right now. Spicy will get the win to make it official as AK finishing up 2.3 seconds back in 2nd. And so AK leading it for pretty much all of it. Spicy going to get the win. Regardless, they will move up in our winners bracket to match number 8. And results are official. No reviews being called on that one. AK, we have a channel change for you to race band 6. AK race band 6. When you come back with Spicy in match number 8, Jose FPV channel change for you going to race band 3. When you come back with Goblin FPV in match number 7, that was match number 4 complete. A great look at our backdrop there on the big screen, the No Quarter Ranch. Our home for the 3rd consecutive time of the MultiGP Championship. Our greatest thanks to Lead Boy, Lead Girl, Matt Brooks, and Michelle for being our hosts here for Champs once again. A year-round drone racing facility here in Citrus Springs, Florida. For about a month and a bit, the GQ track is permanently set up here for practice and global qualifying runs. Then different tracks set up throughout the year. You see that permanent structure that is our flight line that is here each and every day. If you're lucky enough to get the invite for those private closed warm-up sessions for some of the TV pilots. We love coming to Champs as we just bring in a few little things to enhance the experience. A couple TVs, a couple of tents, a couple extra lights. But a great venue for a championship event. I believe even like Street League had their championship here. I didn't see that channel change. So it looks like Spicy has a channel change as well. Hold on. Okay. So AK stays on R1. Spicy goes to R6. Good catch, Michelle. Thought we already bumped this. Spicy with the channel change. AK is going to stay where he at. Stay where he is at. We're in our consolation bracket. We're our redemption round. Match number 5 is where we're at on our race program with AK Drones, Uptime FPV, Infinity, and Ethan FPV. 3rd and 4th will be eliminated. We'll finish up somewhere between 37th and 40th overall. Top 2 will advance further in our program. Let's see what happens. The next 90 seconds will be very telling. We're about to go green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Fantastic start there on the straightaway. Everyone through our tunnel chasing AK Drones. So AK Drones in the number 4 spot. We are chasing Ethan FPV at the front. Ethan, Uptime, Infinity, AK Drones. Your running order halfway through lap number 1 with 2.5 laps still to go. Looks like Ethan has found a gear here on this opening lap. That was a 23.5 up to 78 miles an hour. Uptime, Infinity, AK Drones right behind him. 2.5 seconds separating all 4 pilots. Nothing has been decided as of yet, except the racing is just starting to heat up as we get through our program. Still chasing Ethan FPV. And you got Infinity, AK Drones, Uptime FPV. A little battle there for 3rd, but technically, it's a 4-way battle for the front. Ethan leading after 3. There's AK Drones, Uptime, and Infinity. 3 seconds separating all 4 pilots onto this 3rd and final lap. This is 1 to eliminate, 1 to remember right here. Just about saw the pass. AK Drones getting by Ethan FPV. Ethan FPV still holding off AK Drones. AK Drones got distracted on that one. Opening up the door here for Uptime and Infinity as they grind it out here for now 2nd. Ethan gets a win. Infinity about to cross over. Infinity gets 2nd. Uptime 3rd by 1.3 seconds. That was hot racing right there. And of course, when we are watching racing, we love to go on who's ever in the number 2 position because that is Chase Cam. And we saw Chase Cam on AK Drones. He got distracted. I think he was pushing Ethan FPV and was going to make a pass for the lead, but almost saw too much of Ethan FPV's quad in his FPV feed. That frame or 2 distracted him and he crashes out. Going to pull up 4th in this heat, which means he is going to be somewhere in that 36 to 39 range when it's all said and done. And so 3rd going to go to Uptime FPV. He too in the positions 37 through 40 when it's all said and done. And so we will advance with Ethan FPV and Infinity to match number 9. Judges say it's good. So Ethan FPV and Infinity match number 9 is where we're going to take you. And no channel changes, no channel changes. Well, also no changes with our love for Hobby Wing, hobbywingdirect.com. They joined us at that 2017 MultiGP Championship in Reno, the one that was won by Captain Vanover. They're voted #1 original manufacturer of brushless ESC and motor systems, well renowned for their 4-in-1 systems you'll find on many top racing craft. Also in the space of full-size and RC aircraft, boats, cars, trucks, and of course quadcopters. Anything that gets their team out of the office for a bit. Thank you, Hobby Wing, for your continued support of the MultiGP Championship. We also want to thank our friends at Torval. All you need for your next adventure in one bag. Torval creating drone accessories with pilots, for pilots, with the help of their friends and top drone pilots. Their young international team finds solutions to everyday drone carrying problems. Their mission is to make your next flight better, whether you're passionate about racing, taking awesome pictures, or simply just want to have fun. Or Torval will enrich your flying experience. Torval.com to find more. Orca, never stop flying. Their vision is to become the world's #1 technology provider for FPV and remote reality applications. We saw their new coming soon 50 amp 4-in-1. Also got new flight controllers, a digital and an analog version, HD0 ready. Look for that coming online at orcafpv.com. We're at match number 6 into our winner's bracket. First round of the winner's bracket. It's that bump up from the E to the D to the C, T-Bell, along with Wild Type, Red 5, and Daylight FPV. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Well, of course, in this one, we got 2 bump ups. Red 5 was a bump up as well. So 2 bumps from the D into the C as one of your qualifiers. Wild Type will bump into a gate, dropping a position or 2. We're chasing Daylight. It's Daylight, Red 5, Wild Type T-Bell. 1, 2, 3, 4 here in this opening lap. Daylight holding off the field is gonna have a pretty good lead here, 2-gate lead. 9/10 of a second over Red 5, and now Wild Type making up some ground in third. 2/10 of a second away from the transfer position, and T-Bell is on that lead lap as well. 4.7 seconds back from the transfer position. Still with a lap and a half still to go here for our field. Daylight FPV on the gas and going fast. Red 5 is hot on his heels, though. 1 more lap to go. They're separated by 1.2 seconds. Wild Type still in third, but he's only 0.2 of a second behind Red 5. Looking to make that pass here. A battle for the #2 spot. Wild Type now just ahead of Red 5. To see if Red 5 is able to reclaim that position to stay in the winner's bracket. Otherwise, it's redemption bracket bound. We'll go with him. Red 5 going a little wild, and so Wild Type now solid in second. Daylight's going to get the checkered. Wild Type pulling up second, 0.7 of a second back in the #2 spot to advance to the semifinal of the winner's brackets. Red 5 pulling up third, T-Bell pulling up fourth. So our 2 bumps were well within the thick of things, and we'll visit with them in our consolation bracket. And no review required on that one. So into the consolation bracket, we take Red 5 and T-Bell. T-Bell, got a channel change for you, going to race band 3. When you come back with Red 5 in match number 9. Daylight FPV and Wild Type, no channel changes. You're back in the semifinal of the winner's bracket, match number 11. That is match number 6 complete. Coming up, we go back into the consolation bracket, still looking to decide finish positions 37 through 40. So coming up next will be Fairy, Fire Serpent, Goblin FPV, and Jose FPV after the break. And into our consolation preliminary round, our second matchup at that stage to decide positions 37 through 40. Top two advancing a little further. Good luck, pilots. We got Jose FPV, Goblin FPV, Fire Serpent, and Fairy getting set to fly. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Up and out we go. Fantastic start here. All 4 pilots through with no issues. Chasing Fire Serpent, Jose FPV, Goblin, and Fairy. Now Goblin sliding up number 2 spot, trying to push Fire Serpent for the lead. Jose FPV, loosey-goosey, moving Fairy up into 3rd as we are chasing now Fire Serpent back up in the lead. Then looks like Jose FPV and Goblin. Fire Serpent on to lap number 2. Goblin, 1.5 seconds back behind him. Fairy, 1.8 seconds back from the transfer position in 3rd. Jose FPV is just under 4 seconds away from that transfer position. And so a hot and heated lap number 1, still 2 laps to go. And chasing Fire Serpent. Does he gap the field? No, Jose FPV gets in front of him. You got Goblin FPV going fast. Goblin running second now. It's Fire Serpent and Goblin 1 and 2. Fairy up into 3rd. And Jose FPV dropping a little bit. He's in 4th now. Looking to not be eliminated. That is to get back into the lead on this one. Still Fire Serpent. Goblin FPV still solid in second. Now a little bit of a switch up. The win's going to go to Goblin, then Fire Serpent. That pass happened moments ago. And they will be your 1 and 2. Goblin in the number 1 spot. Fire Serpent 0.6 of a second back in second. And so that's going to put Fairy in 3rd, Jose FPV in 4th. And we will take your top 2 up to match number 10. No channel changes. Goblin and Fire Serpent. Match number 10. No channel changes. And so as we take a look here, that is the journey coming to an end for Jose FPV. Qualifying this week in the number 33 spot and finishing 40th overall. Fairy qualifying 36th this week, finishing 38th. That also has decided the final ranking for AK Drones. 39th overall, and Uptime will finish 37th overall. We're now officially down to 36 pilots. That was match number 7. Coming up, we go into our winner's bracket with match number 8. And as we get our pilots ready, over on the sidelines, we have our good buddy FPV Gann. And along with him, we have our operating officer of MultiGP, Miss Claire, to talk about the STEM Alliance.
Hey, we're back with Claire here to learn a little bit more about the STEM Alliance. And I'm wondering if you tell us a little bit about your goals this year.
Absolutely. So we all know... I steal the microphone every time. I'm sorry, Travis. We all know that MultiGP's goal is to introduce all to this exciting sport of drone racing. And we created the MultiGP STEM Alliance to create a UAS pipeline for students as a drone-focused STEM program. So we have curriculum, we have training, and we have competitions for middle school, high school, college level, and then on up through the MultiGP chapter levels into professional careers in drone racing. And the goal of the STEM Alliance is to provide those opportunities for students around the world.
That's amazing, Claire. So if you are interested in getting involved in drone racing on the middle school, high school, or collegiate level, make sure you check out multigp.com/STEM. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, FPV Gann. Getting set to continue on in our program. We had some shuffling around. Looks like they're confirming channels one more time. Again, our bracket is multigp.live/C. And we should have AK FPV on raceband 1, QT raceband 3, Spicy raceband 6, and Ches FPV raceband 8 is what we're looking for. Here in match number 8, this is a winner's bracket race. And what that means is the top 2 in this go to the semifinal of our winner's bracket versus Daylight FPV and Wild Type. We have AK FPV, our top qualifier. 25th in qualifying this week. Defending that top 36 finish that we're at right now. Spicy is 32nd in qualifying this week. Ches FPV, your biggest mover, 48th in qualifying this week. And QT FPV, 29th in qualifying. Here we are in our winners bracket. So, of course, lots of excitement here for Ches FPV. He won our D main bracket not too long ago. So he is our featured bump up in this one. We bumped Red 5. He's still in it. T-Bell, he's still in it. Goblin FPV, still in it. All of our bump ups going up a weight class and still within contention here in our C main. When we get to match number 14, the top 4 advancing to our B main. We're going green. Match number 8 is where we're at. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Well, whole shot going to go to AK FPV. He and QT coming out of the tunnel at the exact same time. You got Spicy and Ches FPV almost right on top of them. AK still holding off QT in the number 1 spot. You can see that chase cam after chase cam. Looks like Spicy now moving up the number 2 spot. QT down to 3rd now. QT back up into 2nd. About to take the lead here on this opening lap. And don't count out our bump up Ches FPV, even though he had to go back for a gate. He's still within contention. It's QT, AK, and Spicy. 1, 2, and 3. Less than 6/10 of a second separating them for the front, and Ches FPV 4 seconds away from the transfer position. It's a winner's bracket race as we are watching the QT, AK, and Spicy show at the front and looking for QT or for Ches to catch up. AK having to go back a gate, and so it's QT, Spicy, AK with 1 more lap to go. It's Spicy now, QT in 2nd, AK in 3rd, 2.3 seconds back in 3rd for the bump up to the semifinal of our winner's bracket is what we're playing for here in match number 8. 3rd and final lap is where we're at here on our program. I believe it's still Spicy in the number 1 spot, QT running 2nd, and they are well in front of AK FPV. He's going to try and send it in, but here comes Spicy across the line, 3 laps a minute 16. QT finishing 2nd, 0.4 of a second back. And that is going to give AK 3rd when he gets across the line, 3 laps a minute 21. That's 4 seconds off. Was in the lead for a good chunk of it. And into the redemption bracket, we will take AK and Ches FPV back in match number 10. And to the semifinal of the winner's bracket, we take Spicy and QT FPV. Got a channel change for QT FPV. Going to go to race band 8 when you're back with Spicy in match 11. And we got channel changes for both AK FPV and Ches FPV. AK to race band 3. Ches going to race band 6. Ches FPV to race band 6. AK to race band 3. When you guys come back in the redemption bracket, match number 10 on our official program. We're burning lots of MAH on this SFPV design course of the 2023 MultiGP Championship. Of course, you want the most MAH, reliance, efficiency, and affordability. You got to run those Tattoo Gen Z's Tattoo Lipos. With a high reputation in the market, Tattoo batteries can be trusted to deliver stellar performance. One of the leading lithium polymer manufacturers in China, Tattoo focuses on high capacity, high discharge rate, design, pack assemblage, and battery manufacturing. For drones, multi-rotor, and other UAVs, genstattoo.com to find out more. Of course, we're featuring our Speed Trap here at the 2023 Drone Racing Championship. It's brought to us by Team Black Sheep, Real Serious Toys. They got the Tracer and the Crossfire for your control. And for analog flying pilots or video transmitter, the Unify, the name that leads the game for analog VTXs. Thank you, Team Black Sheep, Trappy, Wayne, Mike, the rest of the team. Team-blacksheep.com, redefining the FPV hobby, one flight at a time. We're at match number 9. 3rd and 4th, going to finish up in that 33 to 36 range. Top two will advance a little further in our program in the redemption bracket. It is T-Bell, Red 5 Infinity, and Ethan FPV. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in lesson 5. We're underway, up and at 'em. Ethan FPV, no stranger to the front, but tons of traffic right behind him with T-Bell, Infinity, and Red 5, all trying to make a big push. Looked like we almost saw a pass there by T-Bell up in the front, but he's going to be still solid in second. Infinity has T-Bell in his sights, back in third. And here we are, lap 1 done for Ethan FPV with a 23. Red 5 and T-Bell almost on top of each other. And Infinity catching up. Infinity onto that lead lap as well. 2 seconds back from the remaining two. Top two to stay alive. Otherwise, it'll be elimination bound here in our redemption bracket. Match number 9 in our program. Again, set to wave a white flag. 1 more to go for Ethan FPV. Still leading from the hole shot to lap 1. Lap 2, T-Bell and Infinity still grinding it out for second place. And it looks like issues for Infinity. Crashing out. And it looks like he is going to be done. Down to 2. To burn up the pack. And work their way to match number 12. There's Ethan FPV with another win. 3 laps, 1:16. And here comes T-Bell. Not the fastest we've seen in that speed trap, 72 miles an hour. And this one is going to be under review. Well, in that last race, we had a couple of video complaints, and I think we may have had a double read on our timer. There's nothing that's a carbon copy on the data that we're looking at on the screen right now, but that one is going to be under review. So we need Ethan FPV, Infinity, Red 5, and T-Bell to the scoring table as we will sort what we're going to do there. So they're going to take a review of data, and we're actually going to hold from powering up now so we can take a look at the RF coming off the back of the quads. And so our first holding pattern here of our C main is where we're at. They're working there behind the scenes, and talking about working, we want to thank our volunteers and voluntold, those that have paid the price, the sacrifice to get us to where we are here tonight, or this afternoon, into tonight's championship top 16. Thank you to the red shirts, our volunteers of the 2023 MultiGP Championship. I want to thank Free doing a lot of work behind the scenes with our build on site, but you see in the center of the screen those brand new launch stands. I know they look identical to the ones we've been using since 2017, but that's V2 of the Pro Launch stand. You organize the design and the cutting, the welding and the building. And the difference between these launch stands and the ones that look almost identical that are sitting in Muncie, Indiana, these ones have a dog collar on them. There's a component that some quads need for that staging, a little bar. It's on a dog leash, and so we've been at many events and people are asking, where's the little bar? And those would go walking, and so with the dog leash on in our version 2 stands, we're able to have great launches. Thank you, Free, for organizing that. I also want to thank Phil LaBlasta, keeping us entertained as the races were running all through qualification. Jeff PV, part of our build team. Cayman, part of our build team as well. Non-stop, sun up to sundown, before the event, during the event, and I thought we were saying our goodbyes last night, and he was saying, no, I'm here for teardown too. Thank you, Cayman. Sir Tomcat, of course. That guy is king of the hammer. Not a god of a hammer. Chris Thomas, give me a look. No, you're the god of the hammer. You're Thor. But when it comes to banging these stages together, look, the Flightline stage and my stage were built last year. That's the work of Sir Tomcat, and it's still standing. We also want to thank Fix It. He's always early. He's always helping us out. Great friend of ours. Thank you, Joey. Ferrari, man, that guy. Talk about paying the price. Helping us with the build. I think for the last 3 years now, part of our build team at Champs and IO. Yesterday, he was the guy that was doing the full inspection of every setting in the flight controller. He was the guy if you're in trouble to go see. So he took a hit there, but of course 2019, he was the guy who stopped a quad from hitting someone else as well. Definitely appreciate his longtime support. We're proud to have him on our team. Thank you, Ferrari. Hyper, it's his house, but he woke up, helped us set up, helped us tear down. So thank you, Hyper. Best of luck to him. Number 2 in qualifying for tonight. We also want to thank NVS FPV. Putting in the most amount of hours in our lift are thanks to Harmjoy. That is the god of the hammer, the Thor of drone racing, Chris Thomas. Thank you to Two Dog RC as well, working on this event year-round. Our event manager of MultiGP, and so right now trying to get to the bottom of what we're going to do, as we had 1, maybe 2 quads on multiple channels in that last heat. Thanks to Focus. He's leading our technology behind the scenes, helping us on scoring throughout the event as well, building all the brackets. Thank you, Focus. Thanks to Shames and Cali FPV, always lending a hand. Thanks to T-Dog's mom. Thanks to Lead Boy, Polar, Polar's dad. Thanks to Screecher's mom, helping with registration, Lead Girl with registration, and Elisa with one eye. That's her pilot name. I just gave it to her, Elisa Weiss. Thank you. Our tech team, Diver Down, Quad Father, Seeker, Ethan FPV. Our thanks to Henry. And a few more added to the list thanks to the Canadians, Flynix, Rose, Bend FPV, FPV GAN, and Stark. Thank you to the red shirts. They're still trying to decide the decision. And so that is deciding what the story is on match number 9. But in the interim, we can go to match 10. We're going green. Ches FPV, one of our bump ups. AK FPV, our TQ in the group. Fire Serpent and Goblin FPV. 2 are going home in that 33 to 36 range. 2 advancing further in the comp. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Off to the races we go. Whole shot going to go to AK FPV out front right now, but this is almost a 4-wide battle at the front. Fire Serpent is going to be our first victim to go down. And we're down to 2. AK and Goblin running 1 and 2. We lost our bump up Ches FPV. So match 10, going to be for fun for AK. Maybe a speed trap run, only 68 miles an hour that time, but AK out front over Goblin by 3 seconds. Both of them working now on lap number 2. Not sure who went further, Ches or Fire Serpent. I think Ches went further than Fire Serpent off the top of my head. So I think that's going to put Ches 34th overall. Our bump up from the D main, 48th in qualifying this week. And Fire Serpent 35th overall. There's that speed trap run for AK, 77.5 miles an hour the last time through. He's working on lap number 3. Goblin FPV working on lap 2. Sloppy lap, but it doesn't matter. Both of them going over, even though they're a lap apart. Goblin getting over in front of AK FPV. 74 miles an hour for AK FPV on lap 3. And AK gets it done in the number 1 spot. 3 laps in 1:55. Goblin FPV crossed over in front of AK FPV, but he was 1 lap back. So this lap officially counts. He got it. Had AK crossed over first, then Goblin would have been shut down after 2. But this one is legit as we look to appease the quad gods. And that's not Thor, the other quad gods. 3 laps, 1:46 for second for Goblin FPV. As we will take AK FPV and Goblin FPV to match number 12 of our redemption round. Got a channel change on AK FPV to race band 6. AK to race band 6 when you're back after the next one in match number 12. And a send-off for Fire Serpent, 35th overall in 2023. And Ches FPV, 34th overall. Judges say the last one is clean, as we will still look to those results from match number 9 to be decided. But we are moments away from match 11. Well, as we continue working here behind the scenes, we got our semifinal of the winners bracket coming up in just a few moments. And of course, trying to figure out what we're doing with match number 9. While we sort that out, over to the sidelines, we have a guest with FPV GAN.
Hey guys, we're here with Red 5, actually waiting to find out the outcome. So you did finish in 4th in that last heat, but maybe to take it back for a second, you actually bumped up from the D main into this group, made it all the way this way, and now we're waiting to find the outcome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you're feeling right now and how the race has been going today?
I mean, it's been a phenomenal event. Didn't think I'd still be flying with my friends. Super happy to be doing it. And yeah, last heat we had some video problems. That happens. We'll see if we get a rerun. Fingers crossed. If not, I'll be pretty happy with dropping out of 4th right now and locking in. You know, somewhere in the 30s feels good. So.
Yeah, so we're standing by to find out if he's going to be rerun. But in the meantime, anyone you want to give it a shout out to?
Oh yeah, just props again to all the people who got up early, California and Hawaii, watching the live stream. Great to see people in the chat actually cheering you on, and really appreciate you guys putting on a good show. My mom said the production quality's thumbs up, so nicely done.
Thanks a lot. All right, well, let's head on back to racing.
Well, just getting the update here. We're going to rerun race number 9. It'll be after this one, which is race 11. So we will scrub. We're going to scrub that race, and that is going to result in another back-to-back after that. So right now we're at match 11. On deck, Ethan FPV, Infinity, Red 5, and T-Bell. In the hole will be AK FPV, Goblin FPV, and the top 2 in the on-deck heat. Semi-final of the winners bracket is where we are at. Top 2 advancing to our B main. Joining the top 24. Good luck, pilots. We're going green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. This is lap number 1. Here comes your leader, Wild Type, and Spicy. Spicy just ahead of Wild Type, then Daylight QT FPV. 2 seconds separating our entire field, and we just lost Daylight FPV, starting with 4, down to 3 after 1 lap down. Spicy and Wild Type up the front, still Spicy. Now looks like QT has moved himself up into second. 1 more lap to go. There's Spicy. Your leader after lap 1 and lap 2. Wild Type still in second, 2.2 seconds back. QT FPV, 1.7 seconds back behind that. Well, your finish order is going to be Wild Type and QT FPV 1 and 2, separated by 1.6 seconds. Then we drop back to Spicy, 1.3 seconds back in third. And Daylight FPV will pull up fourth. So we are B main bound with Wild Type and QT FPV. They're in our final 4 for podium prizes, 533 incentive awards as well. And into our redemption bracket, we take Spicy and Daylight FPV after a break of a few, as we do have that rerun. No channel changes. Spicy and Daylight match number 13, Wild Type and QT FPV match number 14. And we're coming back. Going to learn a little bit more about HD0 after the break.
That's okay.
We're doing those last changes out on our launch stands. We have a guest over with FPV GAN. I said we'd learn about HD0. Carl is in from California. He's with our FPV GAN.
How's it going, guys? I'm here with this rock star over here, Carl from HD0. Now, we've been seeing your face a lot of races this year, and it's been a huge year for you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it's been like this year with some big launches from HD0?
I think this year is a very important moment for HD0, and I really appreciate the FPV community give us support. Without them, we could be nothing. Yeah, that's my real thought, and I really thank the APV community give the HP0 this opportunity. Yeah, APV MultiGP. I think we first HD0. I don't know. MultiGP is really support HD0. Without MultiGP, HD0 is nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it goes without a doubt. It's pretty obvious out there to see that many of the top pilots have been wearing HD0 goggles. And as we've seen so much support from both yourself and Ryan out there in the community, answering questions, listening to the community. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've been doing for drone racing and wish you all the success.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, feel that HD resolution with near zero latency. Thank you, hd-0.com. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, FPVGAN as well. Well, we're back to the start here of match number 9. We're back to the redemption bracket. Ethan FPV, Infinity, Red 5, and T-Bell. 2 of our bump ups, and we had video issues. I believe we had more than one drone pinging on more than one channel, each of them. And so with the video issues and the placement, the call has been made to rerun this heat entirely. The top 2 stay in the competition and will race back-to-back in match number 12 on deck. Bottom 2 eliminated, 33 through 36 overall. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Beautiful start. T-Bell and Ethan FPV making an almost identical turn on top of each other. As we have Infinity and Red 5 near the front of the pack as well. Looked like a little bit of a bobble there at the front. Ethan FPV is back in the number 1 spot. Then it looks like it's Infinity. Then T-Bell and Red 5. Red 5 up into 3rd. T-Bell in 4th. As we go, Ethan FPV, Infinity, Red 5, 1, 2, and 3. Here comes T-Bell onto that lead lap. Looks like something might be going on with his quad. He was only 50 miles an hour there, not at full send. What we're expecting out of him here in this redemption bracket. Again, sent to wave a white flag for Ethan FPV. He's on lap number 3. He was leading by 1.3. He's found another half a second over Infinity, running second. Red 5 still in 3rd, 2.7 seconds back from the transfer position here on this 3rd and final lap. Ethan FPV, Infinity, Red 5. Then T-Bell still in the competition, about to get onto that 3rd and final lap. So that means everyone needs to finish their laps as we finish with Ethan FPV. 3 laps, a minute 13 when you hear the sound of that bell. And Infinity across the line, 1.7 seconds back in 2nd. Red 5, 3rd. And T-Bell in 4th. T-Bell just finishing up that 3rd lap to make it official. And so that is now going to put T-Bell in the number 36 spot overall. That's after qualifying 49th this week. That's from bumping up 2 mains into the C, from the E to the D to the C. Last year he was top 15 in sport. This year he is top 33 in pro. Congratulations to T-Bell getting it done. And of course we eliminated Red 5 as well, one of our bump ups as well. He was 39th in qualifying this week and finishing in the number 33 spot. Not the worst for him. And that one is done. Match number 9 as we now bounce Ethan FPV and Infinity into match 12, which is up now. And Infinity, I got a channel change for you going to Race Band 3. Infinity Race Band 3 when you come back with Ethan FPV in match number 12, which is right now versus AK FPV and Goblin FPV. So we had to rerun number 9. So match number 9 is now complete. You see all these names populated. We had to rerun 9. We're now at match number 12. with Ethan FPV Infinity, AK FPV, and Goblin FPV, bottom center. Looks like we haven't hit the verification button on match 11. Should have Wild Type and QT FPV in match 14. Our final four, racing for podium position, 533 incentive prizes. Placement in the B main. That should be populated and verified. Again, we're at match 12. That's where we're at. Match 13 should be populated. That should have Spicy and Daylight FPV. That's where they're at, going from match 11 to match 13. And so we are at match number 12. Top two in this will race back to back. Match number 13, and the top two in that, going to our B main and final four. We're eliminating pilots left and right, and we have one of them with our FPV GAN over on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I'm here with T-Bell, who's had an incredible run this year. Started off in the E main, bumped up from there to the D main, now the C main. And you actually, unfortunately, had a rerun of a heat. Yep. But tell me a little bit about, your expectations.
Well, I had a really incredible weekend. Got lucky in a lot of brackets and just had a ton of fun. And I hope to do it again next year because this is an incredible event. So.
Absolutely. Have you beat your own expectations this year? Like, what are your sights on for next?
Oh, yeah. I think I did as well as I could have. I think consistency, increasing speed a little bit and flying cold, get better at flying cold is what I want to do. So,
any shout-outs you want to get?
Appreciate it for everyone that puts up with me and lets me come to these things. So.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks so much.
Congratulations, T-Bell. Great finish and a great story watching him advance through those brackets. And our thanks to FPV GAN helping us get behind the scenes as our sideline reporter. We also want to thank Drones in School. They're sponsoring our MultiGP Championship. They also sponsored the International Open. We saw Tad and the team from Drones in School at I.O. It's an educational program like you've never seen before, a one-of-a-kind opportunity for students to experience the excitement of being on an actual racing team while also applying their classroom learning to real life. The MultiGP STEM Alliance and Drones in School providing learning opportunities for all students from 6th grade through post-secondary. Student teams design, build, and race their very own FPV racing drones to compete in each level of the MultiGP STEM Alliance and Drones in School program. You can find out more information, dronesinschool.com, and also on MultiGP. Look for multigp.com/STEM Alliance or search for our STEM program on MultiGP. We're at match number 12. We're in our redemption bracket. It's growing on me. It's growing on me. We have our Swiss pilot, Goblin FPV, 44th in qualifying this week. We have our top qualifier, AK FPV, making the trip here from Arizona, the number 25 qualifier this week. Infinity from California, the number 35 qualifier this week. And from New England, Ethan FPV, the number 27 qualifier this week. Top two go to our semifinal of the redemption round, which is on deck, where the top two in that advance to our B main and have a race-off for podium prizes, 533 incentive funds, and much, much more. We're going green. Pilots, arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Off to the races we go. AK Ethan FPV with a great start. Goblin FPV up into third. Infinity running fourth. Now Infinity climbing up. About to take the lead right there. Challenging Ethan FPV. And, issues for Infinity. Issues for AK FPV. And issues for our leader, Ethan FPV. It is a race to turtle. There's only one pilot flying. Now we have two. Goblin FPV is your leader here. About to go on to lap 2, and he does. And we get back into the air with AK FPV. This is a redemption bracket. Going to try and finish up those laps. So bad luck is turning good here for our top qualifier. AK FPV in second. 10.2 seconds back off of our leader. But last one standing, which means a review is going to be called here for Ethan FPV and Infinity to see who goes further, as that will decide their final ranking here in 2023. Where do they rank in the world standings? Right now, unofficially, Ethan FPV third, Infinity fourth, but that could change after review. As we go on to lap number 3, Goblin and AK FPV separated by 9 seconds. Goblin is already doing the elevated tower gate over to the Hobby Wing dive. Now into the extended tsunami section. That means we're about to go through the speed trap, and to our checkered, Goblin FPV with the win of Redemption semifinal round 1. And he will advance to match number 13. AK FPV pulling up second. And he too will run back to back. First and second are good. They will review third and fourth for final placing. And so AK FPV and Goblin, you're up right now. AK, I got a channel change for you. Back to race band 1. AK to race band 1. Goblin, no channel change. And of course, you are up now in match number 13. Semi-final of the Redemption round is where we are at. More racing to come here today, and of course, more racing to come as we get set to kick off the 2024 season. A couple of those events already trickled in to our MultiGP 2024 calendar. Going to start off April 6 to 7, going to Dallas, Texas for the Mayhem Team Race, the only endurance race with drones of its kind. And I think that is an 8th edition of Mayhem. We did Mayhem Lucky 7s last year, right? So this will be Mayhem number 8, April 6 to 7. And they are opening things up for teams to register. What does it mean? Well, you get a team of about 10 people. Doesn't matter how many of those are pilots, I believe is the ruling. And that means we run the race. One pilot flies, he lands, the next one takes off. The clock doesn't stop. Enduro style for over 12 hours in the air racing. That's the Mayhem Team Race coming up April 6 to 7, 2024. The weekend after that, we go to the Drones in School Championship at Purdue University, April 12th through 14th. That's the contestants and the teams in elementary school and high school competing. And then after their champion is crowned, we'll transition to the Collegiate Drone Racing Championship, April 12th through 14th at Purdue University. Then we'll round out April, kicking off our global qualifying season for the 2024 MultiGP Championship. And then we go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the Ice Storm 3rd edition and 2nd annual, April 25th through 28th, coming up in 2024. Coming up here, where we sit inside of our C main on a sunny Saturday afternoon, match number 13 is waiting in the wings, and we'll be back with those pilots getting sent to grind right after a visit with some of our great partners of the 2023 MultiGP Championship. We also want to thank a few of our season sponsors in the MultiGP Drone Racing League here in 2023. Want to thank Superior One Roofing. Why just have a regular roof when you can have a superior one with over 40 years experience installing roofs that stand out for their quality and durability? With locations in Texas and Florida, visit them at superioroneroofing.com. We also want to thank our season sponsor, HD Zero. Feel the HD resolution with near zero latency. HD-Zero.com. Also, Beta FPV, breaking your imagination, well renowned in that Cinewhoop space. Smaller drones, bigger cameras. Beta FPV, established in 2017, dedicated to creating FPV drones and parts with superior quality, breaking your imagination at betafpv.com. We also want to thank our friends at Fox Ear. They're about to celebrate their 10-year anniversary next year. Committed to the R&D of FPV products, including FPV cameras, action cameras, VTXs, receivers, flight controllers, and more. Of course, antennas. Professional manufacturer of UAV parts, Fox Ear, foxear.com. We also want to thank our friends at Emax, a longtime sponsor and one of our 2023 season sponsors, with parts and accessories for your Tiny Hawk, your Easy Pilot, Hawk Sport and Pro, with top customer support, 5-star trusted reviews, and lowest prices direct from the manufacturer at emax-usa.com. Take it to the max with Emax. We also want to thank GemFan, a comprehensive enterprise with R&D since 2007, with a low-key and pragmatic professional team. You're a fan, I'm a fan, we're all a fan of GemFan, gemfanhobby.com. Semi-final, the redemption brackets. Top 2 going to our B main. Joining the top 24 this afternoon. Bottom 2 are done and finishing 29th and 30th overall. Good luck, pilots. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. Underway we go. Whole shot went to AKFPV. He had some issues. He's now trying to come from the back of the track. And so we look to Daylight FPV, Spicy, and Goblin. See if we get a little change up. Looks like so far it is Spicy. Then, oh, it's going to be Daylight, then Spicy, then Goblin. Now, look at this big push. Daylight, Spicy, Goblin. Only 1.3 seconds separating them onto lap number 2. 2 to go. And chasing Daylight FPV. Looks like Spicy just about made a push by Daylight FPV up in the lead. Now Daylight pulling it back in. Goblin running third, trying to catch up to Spicy and Daylight. Now it's side by side, Daylight and Spicy onto lap number 3. And Goblin trying to catch up. He's 2.8 seconds back from the front, and that is to advance to our B main and our race off here waiting in the distance. Daylight was leading, but had some issues at the dive. That put Spicy back up in the number 1 spot. Now Spicy, Daylight, and Goblin and Daylight are in a battle for second. Daylight just ahead of Goblin. Spicy's got this one, but who's going to get second? It's going to be Daylight. Goblin just about got him by 0.03 of a second. We have your finish order unofficial right now. It will come down to review as timing was that tight. First is Spicy. Then we go to Daylight, 1.1 seconds back. Third to Goblin, 0.03 of a second back. And fourth to AK. So want to take a look back at 2 and 4. 3 and 8 on my DVR. So there is also a review in progress. There is a review in progress. Results are unofficial. And I am going to try and bring you a review in the raw with Daylight and Goblin. They're on my screen, Dougie. We are going to take a look at this one back. So a review underway on a dive by Goblin, maybe, and the finish on Daylight, something like that. Again, results are unofficial on this one. As I have it queued up here for review when we hit the button on that finish between Daylight and Goblin, 0.03 of a second apart. Is he? So results are official on that last one. We're going to take Spicy and Daylight FPV to our B main, and we're going to run them right now versus, there are no channel changes for them, and they're going to be back with Wild Type and QT FPV. And so that is going to put Goblin FPV 29th overall, AK FPV 30th overall. And so now we have now added 4 more pilots to our top 24 B main, which is taking place at 3:30 here this afternoon. You wanted to see the 0.3 of a second or 0.03 of a second finish. I got the review queued on my DVR. All right, now I got to scrub again, but I'm going to tell you it is worth the wait to appreciate what we have captured here. All right, so this is going to be, it's going to be after this. Oh, this is the end of the race. I had it queued, and then we got bored, and Ferry and I watched it. And it's going to be worth the wait for me to queue it up again. It was after this, right, Ferry? Yep. So that was the bobble that they just double checked, and so we're watching them race off. Watch when we get to this dive here, right? I want you to watch this. They are literally at the exact same spot in the dive gate. Exact same spot. Goblin and Daylight FPV. Now, if you look over here, you got one quad in frame. Under tattoo we go. Keeping that pressure on. Is it a tighter line? Look, a tighter line there for on the left-hand side, which was Daylight, I believe. Goblin's on the right, Daylight is on the left. Now we come around this flag. We're about to go into the final throws. So Daylight gets through HD0. Now Daylight gets the win, but remember, it's by 0.03 of a second. Daylight approaches the TBS speed trap. Now he's starting to turn. He's facing us in the flight line. That kind of opened the door for Goblin. He makes a little bit of a bobble too. Both of them making almost the exact same turn facing the flight line. And look at the throttle on the left side. We are full stick. And we line things up. This is the finish right here. Daylight on the left side, Goblin on the right. How about that right there? All the fancy, still 100% throttle. Let's watch it back in real time. This is what we were watching. Ready? 0.03 of a second. Wham! At the line. One more time in slow motion. It looks like we haven't rolled out our pilots yet, so let's watch it back in slow motion. Do I get it? Yeah. 0.03 of a second. Let's watch it in slow motion again. There's the dive where they go through the exact same time. I hear the crowd calling for a race-off right now. But you got to remember, this door opened up with a bobble. You know, it's... has Joel reviewed the finish? Has Joel reviewed the finish on this? Because we skip frames here. And daylight is second. Because you see how it could be confusing how we skip some frames here. Yeah. But regardless, we got to see an epic finish to match number 13. So Goblin 29th overall. That's up from qualifying in 44th. That is a big finish for our Swiss pilots. AK in 30th. Qualifying 25th, and so our final four is set. Yeah, sure.
All right, stream, what's up? Hey, so we've been doing this a lot. I have 3 questions for Joe Scully. We've known Joe Scully a long time, since the early days of MultiGP. It's like, what's that, 7 years, 8 years? I have 3 questions. First of all, I don't know if you've ever been interviewed live, so I'm like, I'm going to come interview Joe Scully. So my first question is, you've been doing this a long time. Like, you're the man behind the show. You make all these happen. You make the races followable for the spectators, for the pilots. You make it intense. You put the pressure on. Everyone knows exactly what's happening at every moment. What keeps bringing you back? What do you like about doing this?
Well, I mean, the travel is a lot of fun. We go to a lot of great places. We love coming here to the No Quarter Ranch, visiting with Matt and Michelle. And, you know, there's that community, that camaraderie. We love that. Love seeing a lot of the OGs from back in the day, like you said, Ferry. And seeing some of those new faces, that's a big part of it. And at the end of the day, though, seeing finishes like we just saw there with Daylight and Goblin, that's what gets us going.
Insane. Totally insane. So my second question for you is, we've tried a lot of formats. We had regionals. We used to go fly around, and we'd have a qualifier at every corner of the U.S., and then we switched to the global qualifier. That's held for a while, and this is the first year we've taken that field and subdivided them into a lot of little brackets. Which I have to say, for the pilots, I mean, I had fun with it because I was flying people more my speed. What do you think about the format? You think it's working? You think you're going to try more stuff? You think this is the winner?
Well, you got to think back to the second MultiGP championship. That was in 2016. That's when we ran the brackets. We ran it for the first time. That was a lot of fun. And so we go from that to now we've added, like, we went to a next group, a top and a next, and then now we've added bump ups between those groups. I mean, I love it. I think it gets better every year, and it just keeps going from there. Who knows what the future holds, but you're going to see a lot more of the great stuff.
All right, last question. What are we about to see right now? What are these guys going to do? Who's going to take this?
This is going to be the insane finish right here. This is match number 14, your final four of the C main, getting set to work. Coming in from Daylight, from San Antonio, Texas, the number 30 seed this week. It is Daylight FPV out of the redemption bracket. The number 32 seed this week from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, Spicy out of the consolation brackets. And 29th in qualifying this week out of the winners bracket from Utah, QT FPV. And your highest seed here in this C main final from Arizona, the number 26 seed this week, Wild Type. These four pilots will advance into our B main with the top 24. It is a race-off for the 533 incentive prizes and a race-off for podium position as well, in addition to seating. Pilots, we're going green. Arm your quads. Live on the tone in less than 5. On to the races we go. Looks like issues right there for Wild Type. He's going to crash out. Issues for QTFPV. Down to Spicy and Daylight. Spicy ahead of Daylight. And this is a battle 1 and 2 for positions. And Spicy 0.4 of a second ahead of Daylight. So Daylight likes keeping him in as we get QT back up into the skies. He's a lap back behind Spicy and Daylight FPV here on this second to last lap. How about this? Spicy's just 1 gate ahead of Daylight FPV. We just lost QT FPV on still lap 1, so he's a guaranteed third as we get up to over 70 miles an hour, and we're 0.6 of a second apart. First and second, we got challenge coins. It's a top of the box. Will it be Spicy, who just took the lead back from Daylight, or will it be Daylight as our C-Main champion? We are about to find out. We're in the final throws, and Daylight is on top of Spicy again. It is a full stick send to our checkered. Spicy getting the win by 0.4 of a second over Daylight FPV in second. That was insane. Another photo finish for Daylight FPV. He loves keeping that attention on him, the adrenaline pumping as well. The third is going to go to QT FPV. Fourth is going to go to Wild Type. Awaiting word from our officials if results are official on that. So we are coming back with our podium awards. Now, it's still unofficial. We'll bring in our final 4. Unofficially, we got Wild Type in 4th, QT FPV in 3rd, Daylight in 2nd, and Spicy with the win. That podium presentation is coming up here in a few moments. Well, we are still under review to decide who is hitting our podium. A review underway, I believe, between 3rd and 4th. And so while we have a second, we talked about the positioning, which is important for our B main that the top 4 are going into. We also have those podium prizes. Too is why it is super important. But we also have the 533 incentive fund that we've been talking about. And to learn a little bit more, we find out that from Mondo, top 55 pilot and one of our great sponsors, 533, and he's with our FPV GAN.
Hey guys, so I'm joined here by Mondo, and we kind of go back a little ways because we competed together in the 2018 DRL tryouts in New York City. Long time ago, and a whole lot has happened since then, especially for 533. He has become a huge name in drone racing, and but I want to know a bit more about the bounty you got going on.
Well, the bounty, it was all Evan's idea at first. So every time Evan has a crazy idea,
Yeah, blame Evan.
yeah, well, he just always sends a text. He's like, "Can I call you?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, go ahead, call me." He's like, "How about we put $25,000 on the line for champs?" Because he saw the format this year, and there's all these mains, but he wanted every main to feel like a big money race. So because champions fly 5-3-3, that was his whole reasoning there. And I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And then, yeah, in this last heat, we just saw all 4 pilots had a tier. Like I think one of them was tier 1, the other 3 tier 3. So everybody would have walked away with money on that one. And we're not exactly sure who finished in that 3rd position, but as soon as we know, he's getting some 5-3-3 cash.
So afterwards, is there a place that we can find out about who won those bounties following 5-3 on social media?
Yep. Right on our Instagram. I actually have to run to my truck right after this and edit a little video in CapCut, and then we're going to upload it, and they're going to know exactly how much they won.
Awesome. Great talking to you, Mondo.
Thank you, FPV Gan. Thank you, Mondo. Thank you, 533. And you do have to check out those Instagram videos because they're freaking awesome. You see the podium and then cha-ching, how much money they have earned in the 533 incentive fund. Great work. And thank you, 533, for all that you have done. I can't wait till I get my text from Heads Up FPV. Can I call you? Because I guess it is going to be good news when it's prefaced with that. Of course, Heads Up FPV not with us here at Champs in 2023, qualified for the event, but got the call to do FPV with Beverly Hills Aerial, along with his good buddy Fiddy Cal, a former contestant here in MultiGP Championship as well. They're at the World Series. If you're following those 7 baseball games, that's where he is, not racing as fast, but doing epic things. Off-site, and of course doing great things here with 533 on-site at the 2023 MultiGP Championship. Well, the results are in. Thank you to our team doing a DVR review on that to decide our podium placement here from our C main and how we're going to seed them on our podium and into our B main as well. And so, of course, it is decided who goes further along on the track by successfully completed obstacles, not physical distance. And after review, we get sent for your 2nd runner-up. 3rd on our podium from Chandler, Arizona, it is Wild Type. 3rd in our C main. And on our screen there, they've made it official, your final 4 and their placements. DVR review officials, we have them. Floor directors, not so much. Of course, more racing to come here today. 3:30 this afternoon, our B main, our top 24, plus QT FPV, Wild Type, Daylight FPV, and Spicy. Down to 28. There he is. He made the trip. Wild Type, your 2nd runner-up, 3rd on our podium, and he is down with our CEO and founder of MultiGP, Chris Thomas.
Well, Wild Type, we've been having a good weekend here. We've been flying. I've seen you out on the track. It was really amazing today, but you're about to step into the B mains. What's your plan?
I'm just going to try to fly fast.
I would recommend on your controller, the left stick, just up more. There you go. So I've got for you some prizes from our sponsors. There's a ton of loot in here. I wouldn't open it up in the pits because you're going to make some people jealous. Anybody you want to thank?
Just want to thank the team from Arizona. It's pretty cool that everybody's out here. I want to thank AKFPV. I want to thank Mondo, 533, Boxier, Tattoo, Gemfan, all the peeps.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate it, and congratulations. Good luck in your next race.
Congratulations, our 2nd runner-up, 3rd on our podium, Wild Type, advancing further on in our program. Qualifies in the number 26 spot to compete here this afternoon in our C main, and now inside of our top 28 in our B main at 3:30 this afternoon. Let's go to your reserve champion, second on our podium this afternoon. Qualified 64th on the list to get here, 30th this week, and has now worked his way inside of our top 28. From San Antonio, Texas, it's Daylight FPV, your reserve champion.
Congratulations, that was pretty awesome. How does it feel to get beat by the oldest pro pilot in drone racing?
Feels awesome.
So, we've seen you out there, and almost every single time you fly, there's a new message. Should we be watching for anything specific? Is there a story you're trying to tell us?
Not at all. I'm just dumb.
I think we're all a little bit dumb. Well, congratulations on your win. I've got plenty of prizes here for you, and let's see what you can do in the B mains.
Congratulations to your reserve champion, Daylight FPV. Well, 2 years ago, he was top 40. Last year, he was top 30. Once again, working his way into our top 28, your champion of the C main from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, it's Spicy, your C main champion.
Well, congratulations there. Hold on. You turn those up? We like to give Spicy a hard time because he's one of the oldest pro pilots in here, but we spend a lot of time together. Spicy helps us with the Ice Storm race. I don't know if you remember that one. That was recently. It was actually this year. So what do you want to say to your friends back home? I'm sure they're watching.
Definitely have to give a big shout out to the boys back in Wisconsin and Bladed Fury and Team Ramquad because they push me weekly. Especially have to give a shout out to Josh Wilms Bones. He is the whole shot king. He would take the whole shot from anybody. So I just have to stay ahead of him, and him is good.
Yeah, and shout out to Bones, probably the only person I've seen operate a lift better than me. Congratulations on your win. We look forward to seeing you in the B mains, and that'll do it for our awards.
Congratulations to our C main champion, Spicy, as we'll bring in our four. Moving up in fourth place, QT FPV. In third place, Wild Type. In second place, Daylight FPV and Spicy. Your final four for your big photo. Advancing from our C main to our B main. As how we'll conclude things here with this broadcast as we put the final preparations in place. We started with 824 pilots last April, and we are now down to 28. Our B mains coming up this afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Our B main pilots will do their warm-up packs here in about 28 minutes time. At 2:45, we'll start with warm-ups, and we are back here on the MultiGP YouTube channel at 3:30 p.m. with qualifiers 13 through 24 inching their way closer to our championship top 16 tonight at 7:30. So we will see you when we resume at 3:30 p.m. with your B main warm-up.